Okay, let's be real. There is so much noise about artificial intelligence right now. It's kind of exciting, sure, but it's also confusing. And for a lot of us, it's causing some genuine anxiety about our jobs. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. And this is the big one, isn't it? The question that's probably bouncing around in the back of your head. Is a machine about to make my entire career obsolete? Look, that's a totally valid question, and in this explainer, we're going to tackle it head on. It's time to move from fear to facts. So, to get started, let's just be clear on what we're actually talking about here. Because at its core, AI isn't some all-powerful being from a sci-fi movie. It's a tool. Seriously, think of it like a calculator for words or a spreadsheet on steroids. The best way to think about it? It's your co-pilot, your assistant.
And this distinction is absolutely crucial. AI does not think, it doesn't feel happy or get frustrated with a tough problem. What it does do, and does incredibly well, is sift through massive, and I mean massive, amounts of data to find patterns. It's a pattern matching machine, not a thinking one.
Okay, so with that in our back pocket, let's shift gears. Let's move away from the emotional side of this, the fear, and look at what the actual research, the data, is telling us about what's going to happen with our jobs. So all the big institutions, we're talking the World Economic Forum, McKinsey, Gartner, you name it, they've all studied this. And a really clear theme pops out. They all basically say this is about transformation, not termination. McKinsey makes a great point. AI is here to automate boring tasks, not entire jobs. And Gartner even calls AI a future coworker. The consensus is pretty clear. Our roles are set to evolve, not disappear. Let's zero in on those numbers from the World Economic Forum for a second. Yeah, that first number, 85 million jobs displaced, that's a scary thing to see. I get it, but you can't just stop there. You have to look at the whole picture. They're also forecasting 97 million new jobs will be created. You do the math, that's a net gain of 12 million jobs. So the real story isn't just about loss, it's about massive change and creation. So all this data really points to a whole new way of looking at our work. The key word we need to focus on isn't automation, it's augmentation. This is all about making us better, faster, and smarter. It's about enhancing what we can do.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, imagine the old way. You spend hours, maybe even days, doing mind-numbing data entry. Ugh. Now, with AI augmentation, a tool does all of that in seconds. But here's the key. It doesn't make you redundant. It makes you available. It frees you up to do the human stuff, to look at the insights, to build a clever strategy, and to tell a story with that data that actually convinces people.
This feeling of anxiety, it's nothing new. We've been here before. People freaked out when personal computers started showing up. The internet was going to break society. Spreadsheets were going to replace all the accountants. And every single time, we adapted, and those tools just became normal. The only real difference this time? The speed. This wave is moving way faster than anything we've ever seen.
And here's why you want to get on board with adapting. AI isn't just a small upgrade. It's a massive productivity multiplier. We're talking about becoming 10 times more effective. When you pair human creativity with AI's raw power, the result is just off the charts. A human with AI will outperform a human without it every single time. It's not even a fair fight.
Okay, we've talked about what AI is and why it's changing things. But now for the most important part of this whole thing. What do you do about it? How do you take this feeling of anxiety and flip it into a real, actual advantage for your career? I want you to just let this one sink in for a minute. Seriously, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. The real threat isn't the technology. The threat is another person who learns how to use this technology. It's not you versus a machine, it's you versus someone who's already adopted the machine. So here's your game plan. It's simple. First, you have to consciously switch your mindset from fear to curiosity. Just go play with some of these tools. Second, learn a little bit every single day. Small steps add up to big progress. And as you're doing that, always remember to use AI responsibly. And maybe most importantly, double down on the skills that AI can't touch. And what are those uniquely human skills? Well, as AI takes over the routine stuff, these are your new superpowers. Your ability to think critically when the answer isn't obvious. Your creativity to come up with something truly new. Your strategic judgment to make tough calls. And empathy, the ability to connect with other people. These are the things that AI simply cannot replicate. This is your new currency. So let's end on this final thought. That anxiety we're all feeling, it's totally understandable, but fear is not a strategy. The future of work belongs to the curious, to the learners, to the people who figure out how to use these tools to become even better. In this new world, the biggest risk isn't AI. It's choosing to stand still.